Well, been a very productive day and evening now. Earlier episode, and I just want to give a quick update episode here is the evening's wearing on all the silliness on Facebook. I really do hate Facebook. I really do hate social media. It's not the platforms, though. It's not the internet. It's us. It's what we think about ourselves, what we believe about ourselves, and the false bravado, and just all the anger, and in many cases fear, insecurities, things like that, that come out. You don't have to look much further than your local Walmart or your local Kroger or your local Home Depot. You might not even have to leave your home. You might actually be the person who has believed the negative voices, who has believed I can't instead of how can I? And folks, when we do that, we only have ourselves to blame. I don't blame the past. I don't blame the people from the past. If someone has a confidence issue, I wish them the best healing, growth, a life that is great. It's just, no. Because I got a daughter I'm raising. That's mental health. Our mental health is optimized when we are at peace with ourselves. And only when we are at peace with ourselves can we be at peace with each other or anyone else for that matter. That's not romantic relationship. That is leadership. That is the government stuff. That is the police stuff. That is all of that other training. And here on my dad's 80th birthday in 2024, the self, there's no self, but the self, the James, the vitamin J, whatever, that I rebuilt is perfectly fine with himself today. Things don't always work out. Y'all know me. This is not a surprise. And from one side I get how, you shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that, you shouldn't have done that. Then from another side I'm getting, you guys, I'm not a cop anymore. I have been independent, feral man that is only father since November of 2022. All the anger and the frustration and everything that came out then is gone. You know what happened. So if anybody thinks that I don't have a right to be really annoyed and really frustrated, that just 5 years after I go back to work after Heather dies and 821 John and everything's great with the traffic unit, but we can't renew software licenses. That's critical leadership. You have to. But all of that stuff is water under the bridge. There is so much water under the bridge that I now float in that water that has actually flooded over top of the bridge. And it's carried me into an unanticipated, undesired, but fully prepared for early retirement. And I would love to know, where am I supposed to work? In case nobody's noticed, the 40 years of this life have been dedicated to service, to learning, to growth. There's toolboxes, training, knowledge, wisdom, experience, all this kind of stuff. The Linux box, all that. Linux is something that I've gotten into during this last year tremendously. I was always interested. Now, I don't know that I'll ever go back to Windows, and I'm not even going to talk about that other toy operating system, but that's just it. People, Lil and I don't get my wife, and most important of all, her mother back. So the people that were around at the bottom have to understand they don't get Lilia at all. And they only get me back in this professional capacity. Because after the 2023 that I very clearly had, and it was on full display, I'm continuing my calling. Again, this is not about blame or shame. This is about leadership. And this is about life. And it doesn't matter to me who you are. It doesn't matter to me if you are my estranged wife or anyone in her family. It doesn't matter to me if you are my estranged former employer or anyone working there. We all are humans being. We all deserve to be loved, respected, and valued. None of us, reversing the last year that was, deserve to fight alone. And anyone coming on back to here who believes that they are fighting alone needs to know they're not. Because we are here, and we are legion. And we do genuinely care. We do genuinely empathize, support, understand, and at times when we're lucky, maybe even help. But that is on each other individual. Like when I would respond to calls on duty, we all told them the same stuff. I don't know how many times we'd have to fill out the same couple's DV-81 domestic violence report. And when you're standing there talking with them, you're saying, you guys maybe should get counseling or leave or, any kind of option that doesn't involve people getting hurt or going to jail or some stupid 2023 blow up. But they don't listen. And the reason that they don't most often is because they are so ingrained in that culture, much like how I was with the police training. I know, you're not Stoa Cat, you're Lizzie. We love you, Lizzie Hale. But, look, life has gone on. 2023 sucked. The rest of my life is just this. It's continuing the service. It's continuing the calling. And it is approaching the community that I am part of, whether that is Northwestern, whether that is Clark County, Ohio, whether that is Ohio, whether that is America, it is planet Earth, the Milky Way galaxy. Just like you. And just like you, I'm just doing the best I can too. And just like you, I'm susceptible. But unlike you, apparently, based on some of the reactions I've been getting, I realize that we don't have to stay there. And the less and less we listen to the voices that tell us that we do, the more and more we simply stay ourselves. Whether that self, which again doesn't exist, we're all just energy, is 15, 25, or 40. It is what it is. And in closing, I will repeat, local leadership, we're working together again, whether you want me or not. And everybody on earth, if I believe in you, you don't have a choice. Namaste.